A Piercing Art Guide. Chapter 1. Body Piercing as Art. Piercing Info. Body piercing has a long history among tribal cultures. In the modern era, people are doing it on even though it was unheard of 50 years ago. Body piercing is the practice of puncturing or cutting a part of the human body, creating an opening in which jewelry may be worn. Ear piercing and nose piercing are common. Some people pierce for religious or spiritual reasons, while others pierce for self-expression or to be cool. Body piercing is an invasive procedure with some risks, including allergic reaction, infection, excessive scarring and physical injuries. In Genesis 24:22, Abraham's servant gave Rebekah a nose ring. Nose piercing has been practiced by the Bedouin tribes of the Middle East and the Berber and Beja peoples of Africa. Tongue piercing was practiced by the Aztec, Olmec and Mayan cultures as a ritual symbol. There is navel and nipple piercing. In 1978, Gauntlet Enterprises opened as the first professional body piercing specialty studio in America. Ward, Malloy, and Muzaffar are piercing pioneers. Some passages of the Bible, including Leviticus 19:28, have been interpreted as prohibiting body modification because the body is held to be the property of God. Body piercing jewelry should be hypoallergenic. Surgical stainless steel, niobium, and titanium are commonly used metals, with titanium the least likely to cause allergic reaction of the three. Body piercing jewelry is measured by thickness and diameter/length. Most countries use millimeters. In the USA, the Brown and Sharp AWG gauging system is used. Permanent body piercings are performed by creating an opening in the body using a sharp object through the area to be pierced. Tools used in body piercing include the piercing needle. The indwelling cannula. Many piercers use a needle containing a cannula, or catheter, a hollow plastic tube placed at the end of the needle. The dermal punch. Piercing guns. Forceps, or clamps, may be used to hold and stabilize the tissue to be pierced. Needle receiving tubes. Anesthesia. The healing process of piercings is broken down into 3 stages. The inflammatory phase. The growth or proliferative phase, during which the body produces cells and protein to heal the puncture and the edges contract around the piercing, forming a tunnel of scar tissue called a fistula. The maturation or remodeling phase, as the cells lining the piercing strengthen and stabilize. There is a threat of HIV/AIDS and hepatitis with piercings. They can be passed through needles. In some areas, piercers and tattooists have to be licensed by a state board. In other areas, it's not regulated. Go to a reputable piercer who uses safety precautions like wearing gloves and using new needles for every person he or she does. You can bring your own jewelry for a piercing as long as it's proper for the piercing you want. It should be sterilized in an autoclave before it's put on. After you get pierced, you should wait about 8 weeks until it heals completely before you start experimenting with new pieces and gold which has impurities in it and should not be worn until the piercing is healed. Piercings can cause allergic reactions in some cases. Piercings are not safe enough on some body parts to perform on the general public, so just because you saw it somewhere doesn't mean your local tattoo artist will do it for you. Males who get pierced in the penis will have it inserted through the urethra, pee hole, or foreskin so that it exits just below and behind the head of the penis. Some men leave it in during sex, but many take it out so as not to irritate their lover's vagina. Women put piercings in their labia majora, the large lips of the vagina. These people feel piercings enhance their sexuality. Expect a few weeks before the area heals, meaning no sex if you get a genital piercing. Tongue piercings can be especially dangerous with such possible complications as swollen tongues that could possibly interfere with breathing. The mouth is Grand Central Station for bacteria, so it's very easy to get infected, causing septic enchia, a blood infection, and toxic shock syndrome. Jewelry can chip or break and either be swallowed accidentally and slash or damage the teeth. Teeth that are repeatedly struck by metal tongue jewelry suffer. Teeth fractures and breaks cause infections. There could be speech interference. Permanent nerve injury to the tongue. The sense of taste could be affected. The formation of cysts. Allergic reaction to the foreign body in the tongue which the immune system might attack. The jewelry could break loose, get trapped in the windpipe causing suffocation, breathing difficulties, and even death. Blood poisoning from the bacteria that can accumulate under the tongue. Some of the viruses and bacteria that can be transmitted through tattooing and piercing are as follows. AIDS/HIV, Hepatitis B, Hepatitis C, Herpes, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus. Before you go to a piercer, ask around and get a referral to a good one. The shop should be clean, the business should have an autoclave machine. All needles should be in an autoclave machine or in commercial packaging and opened just prior to the piercing, then disposed of immediately. The piercer should be as sterile conscious as a doctor performing a surgery, using sterile techniques, having every thing sterilized including gloves, tools, and jewelry. The jewelry should either be sterilized in an autoclave machine or disinfected using a disinfectant like modicide or wavicide. Expect pain for a week and sensitivity in the area for a month or more for mucous membrane areas like the lips, tongue, and sex organs. If you sense the area is infected, go to a doctor. If you have a medical condition, tell the piercer and/or your doctor about it before you get the piercing. If you plan to breastfeed, it's best to take your breast piercings out. The most popular piercing areas are ears, navel, belly button, tongue, nipples, genital piercings, nose, eyebrow, sex piercings/piercings in erotic zones. People say they get piercings in erotic zones because it increases stimulation, therefore pleasure during sex. There are names for certain piercings dependent mostly on where it is located. A guiche is a piercing through the perineum, which is the area between the sex organ and the asshole. A Prince Albert, PA, is a piercing through the foreskin and head, glands, of a circumcised penis. Some other penis piercings are called apodravia/AP, Dido, Magic Cross, and Palang. There are still several others beyond this. Beading is where a guy gets beads implanted into the shaft of his penis. They say the piercings and beads can enhance the effect for your girl when you screw, like maybe hit her G-spot. There is even penis splitting and cutting, sub-incision. Women can do similar things to their vaginas, navels, and breasts. Look up the details if you want on bme.com and bmezine.com. Penis piercing/genital beading. Genital beading is similar to a frenum piercing, except that the jewelry goes under the skin. A flesh staple is a type of piercing jewelry or implant in which the middle, genital beading, also known as yakuza beads, love beads, or pearling, is/are implanted beneath the shaft skin of the penis or into the labia. The frenum piercing is usually placed on the underside on the penis. The hafetha piercing is scrotum piercing. The hole is made horizontally through the head, glands, of the penis. Body piercing pictures.painfulpleasures.com. mspiercing.com/group/male-piercing-9.aspx, male genital penis piercing jewelry. penisresearch.com/genital_piercing.hdm. piercingmap.com/male-piercing-c172. skinnyoursite.com. tattooculture.us/genital-piercing-pictures.php. Female genital piercing. alteredbody.com/female_body_piercing.hdm. bodymods.org. bodypiercingpictures.painfulpleasures.com. female-piercing.info, female piercing. targetwoman.com/articles/body-piercing.html. tattooculture.ro/nipple-piercing-pictures.php. tattoos.lovettono.com/exotic_female_piercings. vaginainstitute.com/female_genital_modification/female_genital_modification.html. The book My Genital Piercing by Bryony and related articles. Go to archive.org or https://web.archive.org/web/20080109050825/http://www.totsa.com https://web.archive.org/web/207011091836/http://www.totsa.com/n/ego/self_index.html. There are interesting articles there. Piercing websites at kali.org/en/arts/body art/piercing. Subcategories: Articles, Jewelry, Personal pages, Studios, Blomdel.com, Piercing supplies, Piercing websites. Books about piercing are at number 617.95 or RD 119.5 at the library. Association of Professional Piercers safepiercing.org. Wicked Inc. Sydney Penrith and Goulburn NSW, Australia. wickedinc.com.au. bmezine.com. bodyartdaredevils.net. bodyplay.com, offers courses in how to pierce and brand, Menlo Park, CA. goldholes.com, 877-860-8800, piercing and other jewelry. piercedfetish.com. piercing-magic.com/body-jewelry. piercingfetish.blog.com. piercingmarket.com. profound-piercing.co.uk, 01458-831-666. pspiercing.com. sexuality.org/l/bodyart/piercing.html. skin-deep.com, Body Jewelry, Raleigh, NC. skinart.com. skinasylum.com. thepiercingurge.com.au, 02-93603179. Body Jewelry Websites 1. allkindsofrings.com. bestbarbell.com/male-piercing-jewelry. bestbody-piercing.com. bodyart.bellaonline.com. bodyart.co.za. bodyartforyou.com. bodyartnet.com. bodyartstudios.com. bodyartweb.com. bodycircle.com, Seattle, WA. bodyjewelryshop.com. bodymod.org. bodymodgirls.com. bodymodification.com. bodytreasures.com. bodyjewelrynose.com. bodyjewelryshop.com. body-jewelry-useek.com. bodypiercingmarket.com. bodypunks.com/bodyjewelry.htm. Body Jewelry Websites 2. brightlingsbeads.com. bypiercing.com. cocobullbodyjewelry.com. extremorestaurants.com, Penis Jewelry. finepiercing.com. freacurrings.com. gift4body.com. greatpiercingshop.com. nipplebling.com. painfulpleasures.com. piercedheartstattooparlor.com. piercing4u.net. piercingcoast.com. piercing.com. piercingforal.com. piercingmap.com. piercingmarket.com. piercingmart.com. piercingteam.com. pretty-piercing.com. princealbertbodyjewelry.com. queenofrings.nl.